What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video we got a couple of things to do to the 2012 Kia Soul. If you watched the last video on the Kia Soul, you guys saw what I did with the steering coupler. It's a recall for that steering coupler. I'm going to link that video down either in the description or somewhere up here on the screen or somewhere, or at the end of the video I'll link that video to this video at the end of this video. So we got brake pads, pickups on brake pads from AutoZone, some Duralast brake pads. Yesterday we did the tie rods. I'm going to show you guys once I take off the wheels. Brand new tie rods. We're going to do, what else? We got to do struts today, and then we got to do sway bar links, and then that is the plan for today. That's what we're about to do. Again, like I said, just picked up the parts, brake pads and stuff for Kia Soul from AutoZone. Now we're heading back to go pick up the struts and sway bar links, and then we're gonna go and install this bad boy. So let's get it. We're back with the Kia Soul. Again, we're replacing the struts, sway bar links, and we're doing brakes today. We already did the tie rods yesterday, but just do a little walk around. This is not my personal vehicle, it belongs to a customer. And yeah, so first thing we're going to want to do is take off the wheels. 21mm socket with an impact gun. Take off the wheel. Now if you're not working with jack stands, slide the wheel underneath the car where you see where the control arm is. That way, in case of an emergency, the car drops, the jack fails, it'll land on the wheel instead of dropping to the floor and damaging the under tray of the car. So that's what we got right now. Next thing we're going to want to do, I'm going to do the struts first and then do the brakes instead of going from brakes then to struts. So first thing we're going to want to do is get a 10mm to remove this 10mm nut here holding the brake line. I mean the line for the caliper. Remove this one, remove this right here, and remove this here. There's 3 10mm that needs to be removed, and that's the first thing we're going to tackle. Alright, now we got these out of the way. You don't necessarily have to move anything else from here. Okay. And next thing we're going to want to do is take off the sway bar links. So I believe this is a 17. Let's try 17 first. Nope, it's not a 17, it's an 18. Nope, it's a 19. This is a 19mm. Alright, we might have to counter hole, but doesn't seem like it, so take off this 19. Alright, again, like I said, that was a 19. Take that one out. I'm gonna leave the bottom in for now, and then we're gonna go up top, take off the top one. I believe that top one is a 17. So we're gonna go up there and take out the top nut. Okay, now the top nut is covered by this little rubber grommet. You take this out and then you just put this in here and get that out. Alright, I think we have a chance now of taking this off. Oh, I'm not sure if the whole thing's supposed to swing like that, but alright. Take that out. Take that nut out. And put it in a safe place just in case the new one doesn't come with one. We could use this, or we could reuse it. And then we go back down. And we have to remove this. I believe this is a... Okay, this side is a 17 and this is a 19. You can hold it with an impact or a wrench. 17 wrench and then 19 socket, or you leave reverse. So 17, 19, take that out and then do the same thing for the second one at the bottom here. Alright, and that should be enough to get this thing out. Okay, once you get rid of these two nuts, then the struts just come out easily. Okay, now we're going to install the new one, and I believe we have to keep this top hat unless it comes with a new one, unless you bought a new one, keep this one. Okay, here we have our new struts, left and right, right and left. They're labeled, sometimes they're not labeled, so when you buy struts that are not labeled, or any parts that are not labeled, just compare it side by side with the old one and the new one, and you go off from there. But they're pretty much the same size. And yeah, we're about to put it back on the car. Well, put it on the car and then move on to the left side. So, and this one comes with a new top hat. I thought it didn't, and new nut, so we won't have to use the old one. But yeah, guys, so it's pretty much easy. Good thing there wasn't a lot of rust on this, because it would have taken much longer if these bolts are like super rusty. But so far, the suspension, the undercarriage of this car is pretty clean and nothing major. So, all right, let's put this on. Okay, I almost forgot. Before we put the strut back, we got to replace this sway bar links with a new one. Almost forgot about that. So let's take this out. It's a 17. Alright guys, I was a bit mistaken. The size of the nut on the sway bar links is a 19. It's not a 17. Now the top one was easy to get off. The other one, it's closer to basically the oil pan of the engine. So you're gonna need a small gun, and you're gonna have the counter hold on this side with a 17, and then use the 19 to take out the bottom one, because that was a tough one. It took me like 20 minutes just to take out the bottom one. So just keep that in mind. Now we can actually put on new struts and the new sway bar links. Alright guys, so we're pretty much done with this side. We got the tie rods, struts, sway bar links. Now I'm going to do the brakes and then repeat the same process on that side. I'll show you guys how to do the brakes as well. Yeah, this is going to take quite a couple of hours. So again, when you're connecting everything, you got to jack up the car to ride height. So as you see here, I jacked up the car from the control arm, the lower control arm, to up the ride height where I can connect the top of the sway bar link to the struts right here. Alright, you're going to have to do that in order for the sway bar links to even connect anyway. So jack the car up to ride height, then tighten up all your bolts, all your nuts and bolts. That way, you don't have any problems moving forward. So now I'm going to proceed to the brakes, the brake pads, and then we'll go over to the right side and do the same thing, and then the rear and etc. Alright, so doing the brakes, first thing you want to do is take off the two caliper nuts, which is 14 millimeter. Once you take that out, compress your brake caliper using a flathead screwdriver that you can stick between the rotor and pull in and out until the caliper is compressed, or if you have a caliper tool, you can do that as well. Make sure it's compressed all the way. That way you don't have any problems when you're putting on the new brake pads. Okay, so next thing to do is to take off these brake pads, replace the shims and everything, and put the new pads on. We have the new brake pads on, so what you want to do is, after taking off the old one, make sure you grease up the contact area where the edges of the brake pad meets the shims and the caliper. Grease all your contact area, grease your shims, so that you don't get any noise after when you're road testing the car, when you're driving it. So yeah, so we're putting the caliper back on, and then we're going to move. Then we're finally done with the passenger side, and we move over to the driver's side. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to skip everything I do on this side, because it's pretty much the same thing I did on the other side. So I'll catch you guys when I'm doing the rear brakes. Alright, we just finished up the rear brakes, driver rear brakes on this side. Now we got one more to do on the passenger rear, and then we got to take the car for a test drive, and this job should be done. Everything is installed. Now it's time to take the Kia for a test drive to make sure we don't have any noises, any unnecessary noise, and just to see how the car drives. So let's go for a test drive. Alright, going for a test drive. Sorry about the seatbelt chime. My seatbelt's not on right now. All that rattling that was in the suspension is gone. The steering is tighter and it's stiffer and it's more precise, as you guys can see. If I turn it a little bit, it goes in that direction. It's not like loosey-goosey like it was before. So that's a plus. Now we go over our bumps, we barely feel it. We barely hear any noise. So everything looking good. Again, everything is good.